Hello everyone, this is Teacher Pauline and we are here again to learn in our English class. So yesterday, we learned about, good job, we learned about rhyming words and how can we say that two or more words rhyme? Good job. If it ends with the same letters, okay, or if the ending sounds are the same, okay. So if we encounter words that has that have same sounds, same ending sounds, we can say that those words rhyme, okay. So usually we can see rhyming words in nursery rhymes, poems, or songs, diba? When we hear the song Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. They will sing Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So the words star and are in that song is rhyming words. Okay, so today we're gonna learn a brand new lesson. But this lesson is I know familiar to all of you because we learned this in our Filipino and MTB class. So we all heard about pangungusap, right? So today our lesson in English is sentences and non-sentences. So we will learn today how can we say that a group of words are sentences or non-sentences. So are you ready to learn? Come on, let's learn. So welcome to our class. Okay. So the objectives for our class for today's lesson is at the end of the lesson, you are expected to recognize sentences and non-sentences or what we call phrases. Okay. So today pala, um, when we end this lesson, I hope everyone will know what's the difference of a sentence and a phrase or a non-sentence. So sabi, when words are combined, you will be able to form a phrase or a sentence. So yesterday, di ba, teacher told you that when letters are combined, we can form words. But if words are combined, we can be able to form it's either a phrase or a non-sentence or a sentence. So let's say, sabi dito, a phrase is a group of words. It is a non-sentence. So a phrase pala is a group of words and it belongs to non-sentence. Okay? It does not have a complete thought. So when we say phrase, it doesn't have, maybe it's just a subject or the person lang, di ba? When we say phrase, then maybe it's a predicate. So it doesn't have a complete thought. So a sentence is also a group of words that gives a complete thought or idea. So when we say non-sentence, again, it doesn't have a complete thought. But when we say a sentence has a complete thought or idea. It has a subject and a predicate. So let's see more of this on the next slide. So look at these examples that I got from our module. So it I have here four group of words. Okay, so the first group of words, this one is letter A with the picture. It says here the family prays together. And letter B naman, Ethan and Joy. Letter C, we have here a talented girl. And then letter D, we have they study their lessons. So I want you to think if what letters are sentences and what letters are non-sentences. So again, if we say sentence, these are the group of words that have complete thought. Okay, and if um, non-sentences naman or phrases, wala siyang complete thought. Pwedeng mag-ask ka pa ng question, for example, my dog. Diba? If you hear those group of words, my dog, what about my dog? What's the name of my dog? You still have question. But um if you heard this group of words, my dog is amazing. Diba? It has a complete thought. You're saying that your dog is amazing. So let's move back to this group of words. Letter A first. The letter A, it says here, the family prays together. What do you think? Is it a sentence or a non-sentence? Good Good job. We can say this as a sentence because we have first the subject. So, our subject here, or yung subject sa Tagalog or sa Filipino, yun yung simuno or yung pinag-uusapan doon sa sentence. So, sino ba yung pinag-uusapan natin sa sentence na to? The family prays together. So, family. Okay? So, yun yung subject. So, the family. And also, it has, yung family, meron siyang ginagawa dun sa sentence. Diba? Ano yung ginagawa niya? Prays together. So, yung prays together, yun yung predicate. Okay? And sa Tagalog, yun yung panaguri. So, matututunan nyo pa to sa Filipino kapag sa mga susunod na lessons natin. But, yung panaguri, yun yung nagde-describe doon sa family. So, or yung panaguri or yung predicate, yun yung nagde-describe doon sa subject. So, here, diba, yung prays together, dinidescribe niya yung family. Okay? Yung family daw nagpe-pray together. And, okay, look at this. It starts with a big letter and it ends with a bantas, okay? Or punctuation mark. Diba napag-aralan natin last time sa Filipino yung bantas? So, may bantas siya na tuldok. So, ibig sabihin, a sentence daw starts with a big letter T, and ends with a punctuation mark. Okay? So, ito naman, letter B. It says here, Ethan and Joy. What do you think is this? Good job. It is a non-sentence. We can say this is a non-sentence or a phrase because, diba, Ethan and Joy, you will have a question. Tatanungin mo, what about Ethan and Joy? Ano nangyari kay Ethan and Joy? Anong meron kay Ethan and Joy? Diba you have a question? So, it doesn't have a complete thought. Wala siyang ibig sabihin. Just Ethan and Joy. So, it is a phrase. But, look at this. Ethan and Joy, it doesn't have punctuation mark at the end. But it starts with big letter because Ethan is, yes, it's a name of a person. Good job. Letter C. It says here, a talented girl. Does it have a complete thought? Or, no, it doesn't have. Yes, it doesn't have a complete thought. What about the talented girl? What's the name of the talented girl? We all have question. And also, we can tell because it starts with a small letter and it doesn't have a punctuation mark. Diba? It's easy to tell. Okay, and the last one, letter D, it says here, they study their lessons. Good job. So, maybe you still have a question what's the name of the two kids, but it has a complete thought na rin dito. They study their lessons. Okay, they. So, hindi lang ginawa ng pangalan. Ito, anong tawag natin dito sa they? Doon sa ating, sa MTB, yung pamalit natin sa mga pangalan. Di ba? Gumamit ng pang-uri. So, hindi na pwedeng tanungan kung ano yung name nila kasi pinalitan siya ng they. So, look at this. It starts with the big letter and it ends with a punctuation mark. Good job. So, we can say that letters A and D are sentences and letters B and C are non-sentences or phrases. Good job. Let's hear. A sentence is a group of words. So, sabi nga ni teacher kanina, sentence daw, pag pinagsama-sama natin yung madami-madaming words, ito ay isang sentence or pangungusap. And it must tell a complete thought or idea. So, we can say that a group of words is a sentence if complete yung idea niya, okay? Yung parang wala ka nang maka-question sa kanya, okay? It is composed of a subject and a predicate. Yung sinabi nga ni teacher kanina, subject, we can say subject are always yung mga tao. Okay, may yung tao dun sa sentence. And predicate is kung ano yung ginagawa ng tao. It can be a verb, okay? For example, Lana dances very well. Diba? So, it has a subject. Lana is the subject. And the predicate is dances very well. Or dances. Okay? And sabi nga ni teacher kanina, what does it tell here? Let's read. It begins with a capital letter. Diba? And ends with a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. So, ang mga bantas pala na meron ang isang sentence ay meron siyang period or tuldok. Meron siyang question mark at meron siyang exclamation point. Kapag nakakita tayo ng comma, okay, ibig sabihin, hindi yun sentence. Okay, so dapat lang ito, tuldok or period, question mark, or exclamation point. How about the non-sentence teacher? Ayan. Oh, Not yet pa pala. We have here first the um, samples, okay? Subject and predicate. For example, sabi nga ni teacher, di ba dapat yung sentence, it has a subject and a predicate. For example, ito yung mga example natin. Ella plays the piano. So, Ella is the subject and the predicate plays the piano. So, yung predicate lang, simple lang to. Children, ito yung nagde-describe doon sa ating subject. So, kung anong ginagawa ng subject. For example, Ella, ano ba ginagawa ni Ella? Plays the piano. Okay? And also, you can see here, it starts with a big letter and it ends with a period. So, we can say that this is a sentence. Next, the sun rises in the east. So, the subject is the sun. Okay, and the predicate is rises in the east. Okay, next, the garden is beautiful. So the subject is the garden and the predicate is beautiful. So we can see here, it starts with a big letter and it ends with a period. Okay, and it has a subject and a predicate. It's a complete thought. Wala ka nang i-ask na question, what about the garden? Kasi ito na ma-answer na siya, the garden is beautiful. Right? So, that's a sentence. So, teacher, how about a non-sentence? So, a non-sentence, like a phrase is an example of a non-sentence. Sabihin, hindi siya sentence. So, phrase is also a group of words. So, group of words din siya. But, unlike a sentence, it does not tell a complete thought or idea. So, ito lang yan sinasabing teacher kanina, it may be a subject lang or a predicate lang. So, you have a lot of question. Okay, about the group of words that you encounter. Okay, so it may just be the subject or the predicate. So let's look at the examples here. So just like this one, playing the piano. It's just a predicate, diba? Parang, who's the subject? Who plays the piano, right? You have a question. So that is a phrase or a non-sentence. Next, wide garden. Where? Where's the wide garden? To whom it belongs? Diba? You have a question, right? So, it is a phrase, okay? Or a non-sentence. Jason's dogs. What about Jason's dogs? Who are Jason's dogs? Right? You have a question. It's just this one. This one is just a subject. For example, the Ray and May. It's just a subject, di ba? Walang Ray and May go to the playground. Walang go to the playground. So, Ray and May, what happened to Ray and May? Di ba? So, it's just a non-sentence or a phrase. Sets in the west. What sets in the west? Di ba? You still have a question. Flying a kite. Who flies a kite? Diba? You have a question. Sabi dito, unlike a sentence, the examples above do not give complete thoughts or meaning. So, wala siyang masyadong meaning, right? So, wala siyang masyadong thought. It doesn't tell us anything. Okay? Wala siyang story, wala siyang tinitell sa atin. And we always have a question. Okay? So, that describes a phrase. Okay? Okay, for our activity time, we have here the learning task number 5. So, it can be found in your module. So, makikita nyo rin to sa module nyo. So, pwede nyo itong hanapin doon. So, learning task number 5, tell if each given item is a sentence or a non-sentence. Do this in your notebook. So, we're not gonna use our notebook to answer this one, but I want you to get your drill boards or paper and pencil. Tapos, dun yung ilalagay yung answer nyo. And then, after you watch this video, you're gonna take a picture of that activity or your drill board or your paper and pencil, and then you're gonna send it on our group chat or in my Facebook account. So, you can send it to me. Okay? Para makita ni teacher if ginawa niya talaga or winatch niyo tong video na to. Okay? So, sabi dito, you're gonna tell if sentence ba or non-sentence ba yung mga group of words per each item. So, ulitin ni teacher, paano nga natin masasabi if a group of words is a sentence? So, sentence siya if it starts with a capital letter or big letter and it ends with a punctuation marks like dot or period, question mark, or exclamation point. Okay? And it also tells us a complete thought or meaning. So, may meaning yung group of words na yun. It doesn't leave us with a question. Okay? And if it's a non-sentence or a phrase naman po, it usually begin with a small letter and it doesn't end with a punctuation mark. Minsan, pwede comma. Comma siya, okay? And it also doesn't give us any thought or any meaning about anything. Okay? So, wala siyang meaning, walang thought. It always, lagi tayo may question, di ba? Kapag nababasa natin yung mga group of words na to. So, when we read this group of words, you can ask for help. Okay? If may mga certain words pa kayo dito na hindi nyo naiintindihan, you can ask for help from your guardian, from your parents, ate or kuya, tita or tita. Okay? So, number 1, let's answer. Do you have your drill board na? Okay, let's answer number 1. It says here, a long belt. What do you think? Is it a sentence or a non-sentence? By the way, this is the spelling of the word sentence. You can copy it if your answer is sentence. And this is the spelling of non-sentence. If your answer is non-sentence, you can copy this one. Okay? Okay, number 2. This is our house. Is it a sentence or a non-sentence? Number 3. It is a beautiful bridge. Sentence or a non-sentence? And number 4, visiting my doctor. Okay? So if you're not done yet answering or writing sentence or non-sentence, you can pause this video and take your time answering this one. And then you can play it again if you're done answering. Okay? So let's move on to our answers. Okay? So number 1, a long belt. So this is a sentence or a non-sentence? It is a non-sentence. So it begins with a capital letter and it doesn't end with a punctuation, with any punctuation mark. So it also leaves us a question. Okay, so a long belt. So what about the long belt? A long belt is very good. It's a very nice thing. Parang we have a question about the long belt. So a long belt. So it's just a subject. So subject lang na long belt. Okay? Next, number 2, this is our house. Is it a sentence or a non-sentence? It is a, good job, it's a sentence because it begins with a capital letter T and it ends with a period. Okay? And it gives us a complete thought. Oh, that is your house. You don't have any question about the group of words, diba, that we have here. Number 3, it is a beautiful bridge. Sentence or non-sentence? It's a sentence. Okay? So it begins with the capital I and it ends with a period. And it tells us a thought, a complete thought about bridge that is beautiful, right? Next, number 4, visiting my doctor. It doesn't have a complete thought. It leaves us with a question, so it is a non-sentence. Okay, so you visit your doctor because, diba, you have a question. Okay, so that is how we tell, or that is how can we tell sentence and non-sentences. Okay. Okay, let's go on with our homework. Okay, but please don't forget to send me the picture of your drill board or paper with the answer for the learning task number 5 dun sa ating previous activity. For the homework, do the following learning tasks from page 16 of your module. Okay? So, makikita nyo to sa page 16 ng inyong English module. So, papakita pa rin ni teacher sa inyo. Okay, this one. Activity time. Learning task number 3. We have 10 groups of words. Okay? So, write S. Ito, S na lang ilalagay nyo, not sentence. If the given item is a sentence, and NS if it is a non-sentence. Write your answers in your notebook. So, you're gonna write it on your notebook, take a picture of it, and then send it on our Google Classroom. So, S and NS na lang po ang ilalagay. Okay, so if you're having a hard time reading the group of words, you can ask for help. But make sure that you're gonna be the one answering this one. Okay, you're gonna be the one who will say, oh, it's a sentence or it's a non-sentence. Okay? Next naman is this. Okay, this one. Activity time. Learning task 4, it can also be found in your module, page 16 also. Group the items A to J below as to sentences and non-sentences. Write only the letters of your answers in the table. Do this in your notebook. So you're gonna copy this table, this one, sentences, and non-sentences. And then you're gonna read this group of words din, 10 din to, 10. And then you're gonna write na down the letter here. For example, letter A, reading books. Where will I gonna write this one? Sentences or non-sentences? So if you say it's non-sentence, you're gonna write letter A here in the non-sentences. And so on and so forth until you reach letter J. Okay, did you get that? Again, you're gonna take a picture of this one and then send it in our Google Classroom. So, for to end this lesson, we can say that a group of words is formed by combining different words. So, these groups of words may either be a sentence or a non-sentence. So, a sentence is a group of words that shows complete meaning or thought. So, that's a complete meaning or thought. Meanwhile, a non-sentence is also a group of words but does not tell a complete idea. It leaves us with a question. Um, we ask what happened to him. What did he do like that? So that tells us that it is a non-sentence. So that's it for our lesson for today about sentences and non-sentences. So I hope you learned something from today, and I hope you can now identify sentences and non-sentences. So again, this is Teacher Pauline, and see you again next time on our English class. Bye!